Hi and welcome to Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. My name's Matthew Tate, and this is my continuation of my adoption series. In particular, the first book review I did in that series based on Soll's Adoption Healing, A Path to Recovery. Continuing on the question that was asked online in Facebook groups, that question was, what is Joe's call to action? Well, there are many. Like all books, there is so much in there, and there's probably only so much our brains can absorb in one go. And I find as I go back over, I'm seeing more things as I go through it again. And so I thought I would take you through one particular part. So far in my videos, I've taken you through a range of different activities, visualizations, anger, other ideas, things that you can do, affirmations, and also visualizations. In here though, I've got chapter 24, mourning for adoptees. Mourning losses. So here, Joe's activity, his idea is for you to list down all the losses associated with adoption. List down what it is you've missed. It could be the fact that you lost your mother, you lost the relationship with your mother, you've lost the relationship with all of those moments in life with your mother. There's a whole fork in the road. Ironically, that's what my YouTube channel is called. There's that fork in the road where you go down a different path completely with a whole bunch of new people. And his suggestion is that I'll read this straight out of the book. I believe that every adoptee needs to find a way to mourn all of these losses. A way to start would be to make a list, preferably in your journal, of all the things that were lost, and weight it from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 according to the level of sadness you feel. This exercise is a very effective technique. It will help you to identify your losses and assist you in the grieving process. In addition to mourn your losses, you may choose to light a candle at home or at church or somewhere special. Hold a funeral service for the things lost. Or just making a separate list of the things lost and bury the list in a box in a funeral type ritual. You might write a letter to your natural mother, preferably with your non-dominant hand, to allow your inner child to express itself, and read it out aloud and then allow yourself to cry or feel whatever you're going to feel. And now that's really interesting ways, but it's all about mourning your losses, and these are examples of what you might do. Now that is fantastic in that writing, for example, with your non-dominant hand, I'm right-handed, so if I was writing with this hand, it takes the unconscious mind has to get involved to make that happen because it's something new and different. And by writing with that hand, and in it, the word inner child is another name for your unconscious or your subconscious mind. And so as you venture into this mourning, and you've written down your losses, and perhaps what I would suggest, this is my layering over the top of Joe's book, to add to that, if you write down that list, and then using my NLP and self-directed healing practices, if you were to identify where you feel that feeling in your body, let's say, for example, you had listed your losses, and the loss of mother was, say, the big ticket, and that loss of connection with your mother. And this is causing you all sorts of grief. Perhaps you didn't get on with your adoptive family, things didn't go well there, and so you've been searching for this your whole life. Well, that loss of your natural mother, which is gone, needs to be grieved. That grief gets trapped inside of our body. And so where is it? So this is my little sort of add-on activity to Joe's activity. Once you've done your list, I want you to say out loud the thing that's on your list that's the biggest one. Or you can even say out loud all of the things. I'm saying verbally. And then notice where you feel it in your body and give it a mark out of 10. Or he's saying out of 100 even. Give it a score. And then see which one's the biggest one. And then I want you to go back to that one. That one. It might be, I've lost my mother. Where do you feel that in your body? Wherever you feel that in your body, I want you to name where it is. And then I want you to see what color that feeling is. And as you notice, maybe you have close your eyes and say it out loud, I've lost my mother. And maybe the emotion, I'm angry, I'm sad. I'm sad I've lost my mother. I am sad. Say that out loud. I am sad. Where is it in the body? What color is it? What shape is it? What temperature is it? If you're a degrees person, it might be 25 degrees. It might be warm. If you're a Fahrenheit person, it may be 79 degrees. Whatever that is for you. Notice where it is in the body. Notice the features. What else can you tell me about that? What message does it have for you? Now I want you to take that color, take that shape, take that number out of 10, and I want you to expand it. We're going to release that from the body today. I want you to expand it and let it out of your body. I want you to take that color, that shape, that temperature. Maybe it's got a vibration. And I want you to make it bigger and let it out. Take it from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 and just hold it for a few seconds. If it's like a bubble, make it a bigger bubble, make it expand and I want you to breathe into that. Breathe into the shape wherever it is. Breathe into that shape and make it bigger. Make it vibrate faster than it was before. Make it larger. And notice it start to move around your body. Notice it's starting to leave your body. Somewhere in your body, as you breathe into this, you've taken it from a 7 to an 8 to a 9 to a 10, and you're holding it there. You've raised the temperature from 25 degrees to 30 degrees to 35 degrees, or if it's in Fahrenheit, from 79 Fahrenheit to 89 Fahrenheit to 99 Fahrenheit. And you're noticing the temperature's getting hotter and hotter. And you're letting it out of your body. And you're noticing the shape got bigger and bigger and bigger. Breathing into it the whole time. And you'll notice somewhere from your body that it starts to tingle as it leaves the body. As you're breathing into this and you're releasing this grief, this sadness. And now you're letting that out of your body. Where is it leaving? Notice where it's tingling. What's the color as it leaves? I want you to breathe into it and let it out of the body. Breathing deeply into it. And now, as you release some of this grief, some of this sadness, you can float above yourself and you can look and observe your own body. I want you to look down on yourself, floating out to the left. And I want you to look down on yourself, observing you feeling that sadness that you've just released. floating. You're about 10 feet above yourself, 2-3 meters out to the left, looking down on yourself, sitting there with your eyes closed, sitting there with your eyes closed, breathing into that feeling. And as you sit up there, as you look down on yourself, notice how you're feeling. Witness, observe the feeling that this person below you has, that is you. And I want you to send that person some love. I want you to send them a blanket of love. And now I want you to float around to the back, behind where you're sitting right now, looking down on yourself at the back of your head, about 10 feet, 2 meters behind you, 3 meters behind you, floating above you about 10 feet, 2 meters off the ground, looking down on your head, noticing you sitting there and the feelings you're feeling, noticing and observing as an outsider, having empathy for you in this moment, giving you a blanket of love, that blanket of love that you have and you wrap around yourself. What color is that blanket of love? What color is love for you? Wrapping that material around yourself. Perhaps it's a red velvet rug of love, blanket of love. And now floating from the back around to the right. You're now around to the right, about 2 meters, 3 meters away, off the ground, looking down on yourself, observing about 10 feet above the ground and 10 feet out, looking down on yourself, out to the right, and you look and you observe, and you're just over there, you're just up there, and observe yourself and that sadness. And observe yourself with that blanket of love around you. Observing yourself, giving yourself love, releasing your sadness, letting it go. And now I want you to observe yourself, accepting that love, releasing the sadness, and resolving and healing your body, your mind. And now float around to the front, about 2 meters, 10 feet off the ground, and about 2 meters or 10 feet out from your body. And you're looking down on yourself from the front now. You're floating down, looking at yourself, and you're noticing that there's that blanket of love, that color of love, that material of love around you. And you're whispering in your own ear the words you need to hear right now. Those words of that sadness. Those words that will help you heal. And as you witness, you're noticing that the feeling of sadness in the body is released. And now you can heal what was in the mind. Breathing into it. Noticing that you're feeling lighter. I now want that being that was floating and looking down on you, which is you looking at you, to float down inside your body, back into the room. And I want you to notice just how healing this was, and just how much more lighter you feel, don't you? That's right, you are feeling lighter. And as you sit there and you're breathing, I want you to give your score of I am sad a score out of 10. And I want you to compare it with your score out of 10 from the start. Maybe you started with a 7 out of 10, and maybe that's dropped down to 3. This is a way of healing. And now I want you to breathe deeply and come back to the room, come back into your own body. And I want you to take on board the idea that you are lovable, that you are enough, and you always were enough. So thank you, Joe, for your book. And because this book and sadness and grief releasing is part of the adoptees' journey. I want you to sit there now, nice and calmly, breathing deeply, coming fully back to the room, locking in the knowledge that you can release your sadness, locking in the knowledge that you are enough, locking in the knowledge that you have a blanket of love around you that you can put on yourself any time you like, locking in the knowledge that you're enough, aren't you? That's right. You know you are. You always were. You are lovable. That is the message for yourself. Breathing deeply, fully integrating that feeling of being lovable, of being enough, of knowing that you are loved. And from now on, you can go back into that inner child that Joe talks about, and you can heal your inner child with techniques and more techniques that I will share like this for all people in the adoption constellation, for all people who are adoptees who need to heal, who are not that center. You are enough. My name is Matthew Tate. This is Fork in the Road YouTube channel, and this will probably be my last video on the adoption healing book. I hope you've enjoyed my insights into Joe's book and his calls to action. What's wonderful about Joe's book is it's given me many ideas on different videos and affirmations and things that I could share with people on my YouTube channel. So thank you, Joe, in particular pointing them at adoptees and their needs. Until next time, this is Matthew Tate from Fork in the Road.